Hello, High Priestess. Happy 6/6 portal. Happy High Priestess healing anniversary. This is our 3rd year anniversary. Welcome to my tarot room. It's always funny doing it from this angle. Hi, it's so good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, let me turn my computer on mute. Hold on. I wanted to thank everybody. Let me get my head straight. Hi, Laura. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Shell. Wow. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Lori, Trish, Laura, Amber. Hey, Rogue. Lorna, Chrissy, Jet. So thankful for you. Oh, I have to read Christina Joy's message. Hi. Happy 3rd anniversary. Congratulations. So happy to be here. The schooling, hold on. This schooling has taught me so much about leaning into my intuition, trusting her, honoring her, being worthy of her. I have to pin that. Thank you so much for those words, Chrissy Jet. Hi, Amy Young. Thank you for being here, everyone. Hi, DJ. Hi, Nadia. So we're going to have a little interactive High Priestess Tarot fun today. Just like Christina Joy's sentiment, I truly hope, thank you, Sandy H. I truly hope that the messages that come through our readings and this channel, and if you've been part of the tarot courses, workshops, Tarot Academy, tarot community, and the new wave that we are going to talk about today, I hope that, like Christina, you feel stronger in your intuition and you trust your intuition more, if not completely. And I'm so honored and grateful that you show up for these readings and you support me in this way. And what means the most, though, is seeing people lean hard into their High Priestess energy and make decisions for their life from that place. Because that means it worked. Like, that means you did it. You did it. That means, like, it clicked, you know? That means, you know, I'm seeing 2 of Cups energy of, like, oh, the human and the soul, they locked. They're maybe they were floating around talking to each other for years, on and off for decades. But when you start making decisions from your intuition and you trust it, even if you're scared and shaky, I'm still always scared and shaky. But when you do that, that means, oh, they're on the same page now. They speak the same language now. And why that's so important, and like, I don't have to tell you, right? But it's just to have it reflected back to you. The more you make decisions from that place, the more authentic and aligned your life is. And everything around you has to shift according to you, period. And realists and materialists might argue something else, but that's okay. That's a different language. You're speaking this language. And this language says, when I honor me, especially when it's hard, right? Everything else around me has to honor me too. And that's universal law. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, materialist, you know? Like, not us versus them. It's not us versus them, but it is very rewarding to hear your stories of, I trusted my intuition and I ended this dynamic. I trusted my intuition and I launched this side hustle. I trusted my intuition and I maybe left this marriage and bought a home and I'm starting anew. I trusted my intuition and I asked for more money. I trusted my intuition and I launched a spiritual healing business or a calling, or as Tiffany, High Priestess Tiffany from Tiffany's Tarology says, followed my vocation. Those stories of I followed my intuition to get a new place, to change my environment, to change my lifestyle. I followed my intuition, I stopped drinking, I stopped substances, I'm healing and better than ever. That's that collective ripple effect that we hear in spiritual readings and videos on YouTube about the influence of us as a collective rising. It's when we are all doing that simultaneously next to one another, you know, in different ways. That's when you become the ripple, because someone's going to see you do that or hear about you doing that, and they're going to go, oh, maybe I can do that too. And that's spreading the fire. It's very Ace of Wandsy, you know? It's like, I'm following my source energy, I'm following my fire. And then someone feels inspired to do that for themselves, and then they go do it themselves. And then someone sees them do it, and it triggers activation in them, and they're inspired. And that really is this whole thing of like Age of Aquarius and this collective liberation and following Uranus's leadership and like turning shit on its side. That's what Uranus does, right? The only planet that doesn't spin like this spins like this. And when we follow our intuition, we leave the programming and then create our own. And that just empowers so many other people. And it allows for more truth to be seen. And I was thinking about this today on my drive, that, oh, Dave, thank you, Dave. So generous, Dave, thank you so much. I was thinking on my drive today that the highest form of communication is love. Not news. That's not news to you, I know. But I was thinking, okay, well, what is love? How else can we say that, right? The highest form of communication is love. Well, love is truth. And truth isn't words. Truth is behavior and decision. And I thought, oh, when we honor our intuition, when we honor it, honor is the verb, like Chrissy Jett said, like Christina Joy said, right? Honor is the verb, not me becoming a grammar teacher, but the honor is the verb, and the verb is the action. It's a choice. I'm choosing to follow my intuition. It's one thing, we spent so many years hearing it, right? I feel like that's one thing we all have in common is I always heard this shit and I just like let it fall to the wayside because of conditioning and programming and dogmatic trauma and familial trauma and etc., etc. You hear Neptune, she wants in on this too. But to honor it, the verb, is to act through behavior and decisions. And when you act on your intuition through behavior and decisions, you are acting in truth. When you are acting in truth, you are fucking vibrating love. And you don't have to speak. And it's like, oh my God, the concept of communication, of course, being beyond words, it's your energetic frequency, it's your vibration, it's people see you move differently. You don't even have to say anything to people to influence them. When you're operating in truth, in love, in honoring your intuition. And I'm saying all this church, because I know some of you guys know, I used to never do that. You know, for 35 years, I would hear the voice and ignore it, because I was trained to from like so many different angles, right? And that just always ends up in disaster in every way. So when I turned 35, it was like around COVID-ish. Lockdown for me, I live alone, so I just like went in. I was like, we started reading cards. We were watching tarot and started reading cards, and I taught myself tarot out of a freaking notebook just like this, like a crazy mad scientist, you know? And that was 2020. So that I would act on it. So I would like act in alignment, and I would act from truth for myself. Because like the hard realization is, if you don't do it, no one's going to do it for you. And if you don't love you to your depths, how could someone else reach that part of you? And what's so crazy is that my mad scientist tarot teachings and the connection I had with the High Priestess card, it turned into a tarot channel, and it turned into tarot workshops, teaching people how to read tarot and what the cards mean. And that turned into Tarot Academy. And that turned into an online community for almost 18 months. And that turned into a real live retreat in Utah with 10 other high priestesses who trusted me to travel into the mountains with internet strangers, you know, and hike mountains together and ride horses, oh my God, on the side of a mountain together. And I have been thinking since the retreat in April that 3 years ago this month, you know, June 2022, I was just like, I had not yet launched. I got like the logo and I did a little photo shoot and I made an Instagram and a website, and this was an ayahuasca calling, and I kept being like, this doesn't feel like it makes sense, and it's making me feel crazy because I did everything by the book up till then. So this was like a spirit, what do you mean? Like the Jennifer Lawrence on Hot Wings, what do you mean? That's what I felt like. I was like, what do you mean? I'm launching a spiritual business so that I would heal myself. But that was it. It was so that I would honor the verb of my intuition, and the only way to do that is if I made it my vocation, you know. And I launched it, and you're here with me, and some of you have been here since the beginning. Thank you. So much has happened to us in 3 years. And even in that journey of 3 years, sorry, Neptune's in my mouth. Even in that journey of 3 years, it's funny what happens. They say awakening is not healing, awakening is seeing. So essentially, awakening means you get to see all your shit now, which is so uncomfortable and humbling and embarrassing. Maybe not for you, but for me. And awakening or seeing while running a business and being in service to others, all it's been is a 3-year ayahuasca trip, which means like a lot of purging and seeing and having to make really hard decisions, and then also like the waves of bliss and gratitude and euphoria that makes you go, okay, yes, this is it. This is why we're here. It's the connection to spirit and self and the connection with others, and like everything else is kind of not important, you know? And I have army crawled many a time in these 3 years where I've been like, I don't know that I'm gonna make it. Not business or money wise, but like truly emotionally and mentally. I've been like, oh my God, we are in trenches right now. And it, you know, I want to share more about that, and I will, but I'm gonna save that for a different platform. But what I would love to do now is to thank you again for being here, whether you just found me this year or you've been in HP since 2022, 2023, or 2024. Thank you for riding along, and all of your I Am the High Priestesses in the comments, and joining our courses and meditations and workshops and moon ceremonies and retreats and magic. I have been afforded the gift of seeing my reflection back to me in many of you. And I said this to the High Priestesses, I think yesterday. Many of you feel like star family to me, and because we're so far apart, and yet we have such similar resonance and vibrational frequency. It's like this similar coding, and that always blows my mind. You know, we've got people in the UK and Australia and South Africa and Canada and South America, and I think we got some HPs in Asia too. And I'm like, wow, what's interesting is we are all speaking the same language, so we must all be going through something so similar. And that makes the army crawl moments feel less alone and less solitary. And I just want to thank you, because 3 years ago, Jessica, who launched High Priestess Healing, had a very deep loneliness pit. And sometimes that pit is still active. And many a time, this channel and collective and community and the work of being able to create spiritual spaces for us to gather is what fills the pit. And I never would have thought that, you know. I always thought it was like I needed people to fill the pit, and it's like, no, you need your spirit to create from the pit, to fill the pit. So even if I've never met you, you are very much a part of my healing journey. And I'm so grateful. This has been the longest stint of time where I've liked living, and that's new. Sorry if that's dark. Very grateful for that news. So thank you for contributing to that in your own way. And now I would like to, let's play a game. Get this girl to stop crying. If you have your tarot cards or a journal, I would love for you to play along. I'm a former New York City public school teacher. I taught 2nd through 5th grade in Harlem for 6 years. I really tried to mostly teach reading because the math's not your girl's friend. So I do like to have interactive fun with people. So if you have a journal and tarot cards, or even if you're just listening along, cooking or driving, or if you're in Europe and it's like 11:30, just hanging out, that's cool. Your journal prompt, and then we'll get to the tarot. Thank you, Christina Joy. Your journal prompt is, 3 years ago, I was. 3 years ago, I was. And I want you to fill in that blank. What were you feeling? Where were you? What were you moving through in June of 2022? Yeah, it's a little deepy. I did this with a coaching client this week too. And then when you're ready, I want you to journal underneath it. If I could tell that person one thing from the current version of you today, what would you tell them? Danica, you were just talking about 2022. 2022 was a 6 year, and today's the 6/6 portal, so it makes sense you were tapped into that energy. Oh, Jill. Thank you, Jill. What would you tell that person in 2022? And now I want you to pull a card for my card slingers out there. And jot down the card that you pull. And note the symbols that jump out at you on the card. Like the first things that you notice about the card. You don't have to know what the card means. The card means whatever you say the card means. That's reality of tarot. And then your next journal prompt, if you dare to dive a little into timeline travel. Wow, these cards are crazy. Hermit, Ace of Cups. I love this. I love these messages you're saying to your past selves. You will do more than you are preparing for. It's a beautiful Ace of Wands. Beautiful. Now for your next journal prompt, I want you to try to travel with me here. If you need to close your eyes, do that. Think about yourself 3 years from now. If you can envision yourself in an ideal situation, put yourself there. Highest vibration, highest timeline. And from that person's perspective, looking back on you today, what would you in the future tell you today? And journal that now. If you're not familiar with my witchy ways, you can bring your pen to paper and just start doodling. If you don't know, if you're feeling blocked or like messages aren't coming through, just let that pen flow on the paper. And you can practice a little automatic writing. This actually will tap into your clair senses, your claircognizance, maybe clairvoyance too. And automatic writing is, I'm just going to let myself start writing any of the words or messages that come to my mind without thinking about them, without using punctuation or capitals, without stopping. Just a free flow. And offer yourself that message now. Wow, thank you for sharing where you guys were 3 years ago in these cards. Beautiful. And if you want to keep journaling, I'm going to invite you to do that. Otherwise, we're going to do a little tarot roulette, but not violent. I'm going to see if I can use a little game in here. Oh, I wasn't even seeing all the messages. Damn, guys. All right. If you would like to enter a question into the question box I just launched on the live chat, I don't know if it's available on mobile or does it's like available on one and not the other, I think. But if you can see it, pop your question in the question box and I'm going to pull a card for you. I might not be able to get to everybody because there's actually a little bit more people in here than I thought were going to come. But I'm going to do a little lucky draw on the 6-6 portal. I love this. Amy Young said 3 years ago I would tell her she is worthy. Wow, Jessica Summerlin, you are where you're meant to be. It's almost here. That's a great message from future self. Dave said June 22nd was rosy and June 23rd was awful and prompted me to go down the rabbit hole into who I am. Oh my God. That timeline, Dave, such overlap. Thank you for sharing with us. Brenda, full-time caregiver for my mom. She transitioned July 2022. I'm now choosing to be 100% caretaker to myself. Brenda, we love this. Okay. Let's see if I can pull these questions up. Thank you for being here, High Priestess. You don't have a question box? Yeah, I think it might just be available on desktop. Pop your question in the chat and I'm gonna roll it up and roll it down and I'll pull one by one there. And if you're just tuning in, we did a little journal exercise if you want to do some reflecting. And stay tuned. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to share some High Priestess news that I would love to invite you into. All right, let me pull. Did I just see Miss Linda? All right. Renee says, will my next step be the right next step? All right, Renee. Oh my God, your card flipped so fast. Okay. Renee, you got, I'm using the Beetlejuice deck. You got 10 of Swords in reverse. So if we think about the 10 of Swords for my Tarot Academy students, past, present, future, 10 of Swords is like painful ending. It's also a cycle complete, right? It's like the hardest part's over. 10 of Swords in reverse to me is when, oh, I cleared the energy in my mind that was perpetuating cycles that was hurting me. So the 10 of Swords is like, okay, that's an ending. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it means it's just over though. It's gone. But when it's in reverse, it means something has cleared. So if you're experiencing maybe some doubt or fear around your decision making, 10 of Swords in reverse is saying you're allowed to trust yourself, High Priestess. And if you think about the 10 of Swords as thoughts, swords are thoughts. Like the Ace of Swords, one sword, is a sword of truth. And we just talked about truth, love, honoring intuition, right? 10 of Swords in reverse is like you have all of the thoughts and all of the truth that you need to make your decisions work for you. And if you really want to, I don't know where you're at in your journey, and only take this if this feels helpful. But you, all of you, not just Renee, you are the one who gets to define whether your decisions are good or not. You're the one who gets to define what success is for you. And I really, really mean that layered. Like, if things don't work out the way that you hoped, can't we just pivot and consider that a learning curve? I really begin dissolving the term failure. I'm a recovering perfectionist, a recovering overachiever in school and work and stuff. And it used to always be black and white. It was correct or it was incorrect. And I just don't think that's real for us. I think as emotional intuitives and mystics and people who are a little bit more sentient than perhaps material based and realist, we kind of have to feel into things. So the only way to know if it's the right decision is make it and feel into it. And if it doesn't feel good, you make a different one until the decision feels good. And sometimes discomfort is a sign that it is bringing you somewhere better. If we think about decision making and like stepping outside the comfort zone, like the birth canal, right? It's challenging and uncomfortable for both mother and child to exit the womb and enter the 3D, but it doesn't mean it's bad. Sometimes there's just turbulence as we enter the new. So maybe the 10 of Swords in reverse is also saying, is this a time for you to redefine what success and decision making looks like for you, and maybe your own parameters around how you, the High Priestess, will determine what is discomfort for growth versus discomfort. This is not alignment. Only take that if that resonates. If that is not helpful, don't take it. Oh, one love. One Love said, will you be offering level 2 tarot course? One Love, I'm so glad that you asked about tarot. I'm going to share something in about 10 minutes about tarot. And I hope that you join me and the other HPs. All right, I'm going to pull another question from our beautiful chat. Taj asked, when am I moving? Oh my God, when you guys ask time cards with tarot, I'm always like, I don't know that I can do time, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what astrological signs come out. Time is often alignment, not time as we know it with like clocks and calendars. So sometimes the cards will show what needs to happen for alignment for the move to happen. Okay, show me Taj. When is she moving? Whoa, actually. So we got the Chariot. The Chariot is Cancerian energy. So this is interesting because this is a big Cancerian month. We move into Cancer at the, what is it, the 21st, I think, of the month. The sun moves into Cancer, and Jupiter right now is about to pop the F off in Cancer, June 9th. And that's going to be this stationed position for Jupiter to essentially rain down blessings around house, home, maternal energy, emotional security, things like that. So this is like a double whammy. This could be saying Cancerian season. This could also be saying while Jupiter is in Cancer, which is going to be at least the next 12 months, if not 18 months, but astrologers correct me on that timeline if I added too many months to that. So Taj, this actually feels like, especially because you got an upright card, the Chariot is movement forward. So this is saying like it's here as in it's in your energy. It's present. Now the car in this card is yellow, and yellow is associated with solar plexus energy. Solar plexus is self-worth, willpower, determination, sticking to plans and believing that it's going to happen, believing that you're worthy, doing things, verb, honoring self in that way. So if that resonates because you've been doing that and working on that, that's a confirmation. Otherwise, that's an invitation for you. The other thing with the Chariot card is in the traditional Rider-Waite, the Chariot card has 2 crescent moons on its shoulders and a star crown underneath a star canopy, essentially saying the charioteer becomes successful in moving shit forward because they actually follow their intuition or their higher guidance around timing. And that is something for me that's taken time learning. Like your intuition will actually guide you in timing. I don't know if you've ever tried to like make a change, make a move, apply for something, go out with someone, do something new, and it's just like block, 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 block. For me, I interpret that as like, okay, I'm trying to rush something. I'm trying to push something when my intuition and the universe are like, it's not the right time yet. This combo is like, if you're already sensing it's time, then it's coming, it's happening. On top of like, this card already has like blessing energy. It already has that Cancerian Jupiter. It's going to happen. Keep it moving. Keep the positivity moving. Keep your intuition moving. Sometimes, you know, put this where this goes. Sometimes we have to take one step so that the universe can meet us. If you've already been taking steps, then I would take this as like peace of mind. They're going to meet you. Like everything's already moving. And right after this scene, their entire life transforms. For what that's worth, for the Beetlejuice stands out there. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you for hitting the like button, 51 of you. If all 96 of you could, that would be super, super helpful. All right, I'm going to pull another one. Thank you for the happy anniversaries. Okay, let's pull another question. My eyes are, some of you know, these are for aesthetics. They are not really functioning, but we're making it work. Okay. Mags Mimi, I want to know what card comes through for me, and can you tell me what it means? My energy always resonates with your readings. Oh my god, I'm so glad. Yeah, that's fun. Just keep it open. Okay. One for Mags Mimi. Thank you for the happy anniversaries. Oh my god, of course your cards are crazy. Ooh, Mags Mimi, 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite is twofold: boundaries, and boundaries allow you to ascend faster. There's higher ground in your energy here. Now, this deck in particular, it's actually, you're not even on higher ground. You are essentially this like art piece that's being moved. It's like they're putting you art. You are the art. You are art. You are of creator. You are creation, right? An artist's creation is their artwork. So you are the art piece. This actually looks like you're being I'm going to use the word relocated, but it doesn't have to be geographically. This could be, because it's a fire card, the element is fire. This could be spiritually. There's a spiritual ascension taking place, or there's a spiritual transition. Sometimes when we consistently make difficult decisions successfully and stick to them in our real life, like boundary setting, boundary reinforcement with self and others, we have a soul growth or soul elevation. And that's essentially when we transition into a different plane, a different vibration, a different, some people might even say dimension, you know? And it's like when you're in this energy of ascended vibration, you're going to have all new experiences. And the lessons that you learned in the previous one will be beneficial for you. It will be helpful for you. But this is kind of giving like a, you're allowed to get excited. There's newness coming. There's a transition happening here. Now, if you're like, I'm still learning boundaries, I'm still learning to enforce them and set them with myself and others, then this is the invitation. And then everything I just said after that is like, that's what will come. But if you've already been implementing, I think it's very challenging for highly sensitive people and empaths to set boundaries because we so quickly feel the wash of the other person's feelings when we set boundaries that we then want to fix it or stop them from feeling bad. So then we want to change the boundary. Sticking with that and using the awareness of other people's emotions as just data and honoring yourself through decision making that honors your fire, your Holy Spirit, that is your one-way ticket to ascension. And ascension means essentially being put in positions in real life that are higher level problems. I love using the term privileged problems or like first world problems. Like whenever I start spiraling, one way I ground myself is like, this is, you are not in life or death right now. This is just for me. But I'm like, you're not in life or death right now. The problem you are facing right now around XYZ or this project or how we're going to do this, this is like, what a luxury that this is your problem right now. And that kind of helps me like get my fire to move my ass to do the thing and then go further. If that is helpful, take that. If that doesn't make sense, I understand. All right, I'm going to pull one more. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you here. Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. Happy 6/6 portal. Master number 6/6 is progress forward. So if you've been committing to honoring your high priestess energy, honoring your intuition, honoring your decision making, then you can guarantee that we are entering this catapult season of, okay, you have the foundation now, so we're going to put you in brand new situations that are elevated. Higher level problems, higher level gifts, higher level people, higher level choices, options, pathways, directions. Okay, I'm going to pull one more. Okay, Connie Lee, am I headed in the right direction? Yeah, this is the anniversary. Today's anniversary of D-Day? Is that true? Wait, do I know what D-Day is? Like, is that when they stormed the... Let me not sound stupid on YouTube Live. Hold on. I'll Google it after. But that's when they stormed the beaches, no? Or is that Normandy? Is that not the same thing? Okay. Connie Lee, you said, am I headed in the right direction? You got 4 of Pentacles. Hold on. Headed in the right direction, 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is like, almost like paused. And in this, it's funny, we just talked about boundaries, because in this card, she has to keep her boundaries strong by keeping this woman out of the house. She's pleasant and polite and respectful, but she has to keep that boundary there. They're paused, like a stop. So if you feel like you're in a pause of some kind, that might be because they want you to solidify your foundation before moving forward. But this isn't like 4 of Pentacles isn't you're not on the right track, but it is a pause energy. Actually, I'm gonna look at the bottom. That is a pause, but it's stable pause. Maybe it's saying you're right where you're meant to be. Show me the bottom. Lovers. That's harmony. Okay, so you might be in a pause, like a holding period, so that your higher self, human self, and the surrounding circumstances align. Because the Lovers, it's the choice card, but it's also alignment with your higher self and your humanness. It's the feminine and masculine coming together. It's the feminine honoring the intuition, the masculine honoring the feminine. It's like a lot of it's actually kind of giving pieces, you know, there's like different pieces that have to click, 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 like a puzzle. But 6 is harmony. And actually, in the Kabbalah tree of life, you see it on the 10 of Pentacles card in the Rider-Waite. All those bubbles, all those pentacles are actually sephirots. And each of the sephirots are represented in the minor arcana. Kind of the major too, but the 6s all represent beauty. So this also feels like there's a pause happening, like you're not on the wrong path, you are on the right path, but there's a pause so that all of the parts can sync up, because there's something beautiful they might want you to see while you are still here, and then a takeoff, or then a new beginning, then a contract, then a new choice enters. Because a 6 and a 4 together, that's 10. So it does feel like there's a cycle is wrapping, but right now there's like a hold on, let's get these pieces together. We want you to see some beauty, and then go. Connie Lee, I hope that makes sense and I didn't just take you on a journey. All right, High Priestesses, we're gonna pause with the readings. I wanted to announce something. Let me pull this up. So I have been loving meeting those of you I've had the honor and privilege to meet, and this year has been a lot of change, like very rapid change. You know, we had the High Priestess Healing Community go for almost 18 months. I think it was like 16 months, almost to the day, from the initial Tarot Academy to the dissolution of the community app. And that was such a fun project. But it came to the end of its road. There was a beautiful opportunity for me to kind of like use that as a canvas and see like what gets us moving in this like mystical, higher activated way while still being able to foster relationships and fine-tune this reading ability. And when I say reading, I know we're reading cards, but like I really feel like we learn to read cards so that we can read ourselves, so that we can read the cycles, so that we can read the room, so that we can read our life, right? And maybe use cards less. Or like when we don't have cards, we can just use our reading ability to make decisions stronger, better, faster, more aligned, you know? And Tarot Academy has been like one of the coolest fucking things I've ever done. I love teaching tarot. It never stops. The layers of the cards never stop. And what I've found in the 3 rounds of Tarot Academy and watching others in the Academy read cards and talk about the cards with others is that just from learning the cards and talking about the cards, people have activations. People have breakthroughs. People have these ahas. And if you're familiar with Carl Jung, the psychologist, and even if you're not, it's okay. He actually wrote a book on the connection between symbols and our subconscious mind. He also wrote a book on the archetypes in tarot and how it unlocks our subconscious mind. And teaching Tarot Academy 3 rounds for 16 months and a few tarot workshops for 6 months before that, it was, the evidence was there of like, oh, seeing these cards, talking about these cards, talking about the symbolism, talking about gods and goddesses, myths, deities, esoterics, the Kabbalah, Hermeticism, it unlocks people. And then people fly, you know. That's something I'm taking with me, with us, into this next chapter. And of course, meditating is like the fastest way to learn yourself, right? That's something else I'm taking from the community and bringing with us into this next chapter. And this next chapter includes a more fine-tuned focus on teaching people how to read cards. How to read cards, not judgment is card number 20 and it means judgment calls. That's not how I teach. And if you've taken with me or if you've been to Witches Round Table, you can attest to me in the comments, right? I am not a tarot lecturer. I'm not a tarot talker. I'm a tarot fucking teacher. And I'm gonna draw a line in the sand here. And it might sound like ego, but I want you to know I very much mean it. Nobody teaches tarot as good as I do. I might not be the best tarot reader. I might not be the best online entrepreneur, but nobody teaches tarot like I teach tarot. You could draw a fucking symbol on a card or a napkin and I could read it and then teach you how to read it. I don't know what that is, you know? I can't even explain that. And some days I'm like, couldn't I have just been good at math? You know? But that's not real. That's not what I am. Anyway, all that to say, I want to continue teaching tarot, but to keep doing Tarot Academy, it's like start, stop, start, stop. So I've created a tarot environment that I would love to invite you into. We have a Patreon community where we are actually learning the esoterics and the basics of tarot in one. Every week I post a new esoteric tarot video based on the Kabbalah Tree of Life, because the Kabbalah Tree of Life teaches tarot in a way that makes the readings so much more relatable to the human experience and making connections to what we are from and what the relationship is to humans and the universe or creator or God. And it also shows as above, so below, the steps of the universe creating the parts that are the human existence in the world through the lens of tarot cards. And it's beautiful. And we are going to meet twice a month, every month, to Tarot Talk and Witches Round Table, read tarot live, break out into tarot rooms and read for one another under my guidance and support. I promise you I'm an excellent facilitator. That's another thing. It's very challenging to do. I'm very good at it. Don't understand why. We meditate together once a week live. I might be adding another meditation live this summer if we get to 100 people in the Patreon. The meditations are geared to activate your peace and safety, your chakra healing, your CLAIR gifts. And then for those who want to up the ante, there will be channeling meditations available too. Now, if you are like, I love meditating, I don't know that I want to tune up my spidey senses anymore, that's cool. You can just lay back and let me put you to sleep there. We also have another tier that is geared towards tarot games and CLAIR activation in a lower stakes way, where basically you're playing a tarot game with me through a video, where I'm going to give you prompts using tarot cards that target your specific clairs, your claircognizance, your clairvoyance, your clairsentient, your clairaudience, your clairempathy, just to get the gears going. And there is also a free tier, because this is where my OCD comes in. I want to give meditations and Reiki healings, but I can't pollute the YouTube channel. I can't do it. It's like this, my brain is like, this is for tarot, and the members, you know, the paid membership, that's for tarot. But the Patreon is a tarot, meditation, Reiki, CLAIR activation school for mystics. It's not support circles. I can do that, but those are very challenging. I'd like to leave those to the shamans. But it is for people who are highly sensitive, recovering from codependency, aware that you have psychic, intuitive abilities, but you're not sure how to activate them. Let me. I know how. And it's so fun. And you'll probably make friends along the way. So there's the highest tier is all-inclusive. Esoteric tarots, we meet twice a month. weekly meditations, tarot games, clair activations, and of course the free meditations and healings. And if you don't want to do that, there are 3 other tiers, including a free tier. I'm going to pop it in the live chat now so that you have that. My goal for us, so that I can keep all this going, is to have 40 members paid by mid-month and 100 members by July 4th. I'm gonna be honest with you, something activated in me this year where I can't play small anymore, and I hope you come with me, and I hope you don't play small either. But I have this fire that's unleashed that feels very competitive. But it's weird, I'm not competing with like tarot readers next to me. It's like, let's just see how far we can go with this, how big we can go. Big meaning like, how much fire can we turn on in everybody? How many more codes can we unlock in these tarot reading roundtables? How many more people will we witness make big life decisions because something activated their intuition in a tarot reading and now they've found this alignment in themselves? Let's fucking go. That's the kind of history I want to be a part of, is watching people, witnessing people awaken to activation, witnessing people honor in a verb themselves. And I want to be around people who value that at the highest level, because when we're all doing that together, something changes. Meditations with the high priestesses who are all in the same frequency of choosing self, honoring self, breaking codependency, healing from dogmatic trauma, healing from familial trauma. Those people, when we meditate together, something wild always happens. I will feel vibration and tingles. People will have overlapped experiences. They call it the Sangha effect, you know, when people meditate in the same space and they essentially connect to the same collective energy and they start having similar experiences. I've only experienced that before this. I experienced it in a DMT circle once, and I didn't even smoke the DMT. It was like ayahuasca got activated because I was around it. And I was like, this is crazy. And then meditating with the high priestesses, it started happening there too. All that to say, we are more powerful together, and I love learning and I love teaching. And if you love learning and you want to be part of this community, we would love to have you. I believe that the rest of the year is going to be a very vibrant and explosive year of blessings for everyone who has broken through the hard shit. And I would love to celebrate and witness you in that as well. So, High Priestess, I would love for you to join. I dropped the link in the live chat. I'm also going to drop the link in the pinned comment below this video, as well as in the description box. The first 25 members to join are entered to win a raffle for a free reading from me for themselves and a free reading for a friend. Transparency, I think we already have 20 paid members in there. So if you are the next 5, you'll also be entered into that raffle that I'll pull at the end of the month for a free reading with me and a free reading for a friend. First 50 members are entered to win a free 30-minute consultation. And the consultation could be a tarot reading, or for the content creators and business owners out there, or aspiring to be, it can be a 30-minute consultation window in that sense. If you're the first 25, you're going to be entered to win that first 50-member raffle as well. So the first 25, because you guys are loyal HPs, thank you, you're going to be entered to win 2 different raffles. And I have to give a big shout out to several high priestesses helped me cultivate and massage the tiers and what was being offered in this Patreon. They gave candid feedback and support, and 2 of them joined before there was any fucking thing in the Patreon, before I had one video, before I had one post. And those 2 days I cried, because I was like, what does it mean that people would join something I was making before it was even baked, you know? I hadn't even put like the ingredients in the oven. I actually called my therapist about it because I was like, I'm unable to receive this love. Shout out Emily and Kirsten. And shout out Andrea and Sandra and everybody who assisted in the creation of this and who has been rolling with me through my own evolution and High Priestess evolution. I love you and appreciate you all. It's very crazy to think what's possible when we do very scary things. I've been losing sleep over this. I've been like, this is too scary. But we're going to do it anyway. And everyone in the Patreon, free members or not, you're going to get more videos from me that are in a High Priestess confessional style, because I have some stories to share. Light and funny and hard shit through the lens of, I'm speaking from the scar, not from the wound, so let me offer you what I learned, and maybe it'll help you too. So I hope I see you in there. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here and celebrating High Priestess Healing's 3rd year anniversary with me. If you want some gear, High Priestess, we got some new merch here. This is our Summer of Seeing High Priestess t-shirt. We got tank tops. We got our High Priestess hat available for sale. And we also have our first line of High Priest t-shirts. On the back of the shirt, it says Mystic, Oracle, something, something. I've forgotten. Link to that is going to be beneath the Patreon sign up. If you have received your tank tops, your t-shirts, your hats, please email me or DM me on Instagram pictures of you in them so that I can post them to Instagram. And I want to curate a cute little video of the High Priestesses in their gear for YouTube. Thank you again for being here with me, guys. I love you so much. I'm going to pull one card as a closer. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, Shell. Thank you, Christina Joy. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Dave. So many of the names. Hi, Kayla. Love you too. So many of these names, I'm like, oh yeah. Bought merch, sent a donation. Bought merch, join the community. Bought merch, books with me always. Hey, Linda. I love you too, always and forever. All right, one closing card for Pisces. Get the fuck out. Guess the card. Oh, you're going to say it's High Priestess. It's not. I'm sorry. I did not mean to mislead you. It's not the High Priestess, but it's a great card. Ten of Pentacles. Let's get rich, High Priestess. 10 of Pentacles, abundance, wealth, success, family, stability, everything you want and more. I hope that you go out and make a move that leads you on a pathway to your greatest fulfillment, alignment, and abundance, whatever that looks like to you. I love you guys. You are the High Priestess, and I'll see you later.